Bing boing bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip.
I had never said anything about this up until this point, guys. I really wanted the best for the guy, but he had a bed out on the porch. Like, or not a bed, it was just a mattress, and he had like an old egg crate on top of it that looked like it had been rolled around in the mud. And I was like, dude, I'm gonna need internet to upload the videos and stuff with while I'm here.
Yeah,
And I was trying to do it without hurting his feelings, Again,
right.
not, but anyway, I went and got a hotel, so there was another expense out of my pocket.
Guys, I got a question. Why is Eric talking bad about Patrick? What did Patrick do? How did this falling out occur? What did Patrick do that pissed off Eric? I'm just asking because I can't figure it out, right? Patrick didn't do anything that I'm aware of that would piss him off that was new, because everything Patrick did to Eric was previous to what happened. His bitching, Eric's complaining and telling us about Patrick, he knew on his first visit, right? On his first visit, he said all that. But he didn't tell anybody anything else. He kept telling people he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So, what did Patrick do to Eric to make Eric say these rotten things about Patrick? Patrick didn't take the family and have the family taken away. What did Patrick do to make Eric turn on him and say nasty things about him? Because again, these nasty things happened a long time ago. Well, a long time ago in their Whittaker time, because it's only been 2 months, right? It's only been 2 months. So 2 months ago, Eric knew this crap about Patrick, but he didn't say anything about it because it didn't bother him. So again, what happened now since the family got broken up? What happened to make him do this to Patrick? Guys, you don't see it as distraction. You don't see it as blaming. And what are you blaming the guy for? You knew 2 months ago and you didn't tell anybody. So now you're telling everybody so that you don't look like a bad guy, and nobody could see this, huh? Nobody could see that Eric is telling on everybody what the house looks like. 2 months ago, the house didn't have poo in it with mold, and it didn't seem to bother him. But now, since the family's gone, and yeah, people are blaming you, Eric, because it took you 3 times to get that protective service order, right? It took you 3 times to get that. 2 times they didn't want to give it to you. But until you mentioned some sort of a ABUSE, that's how you got it. Nobody sees that as suspicious either. I see that as very suspicious. And I see you having Timmy as very convenient, because it's, in my opinion now, Eric, from the way that you have shown us, there is no loyalty, there is no nothing. You didn't face Betty or Larry when the family got broken up. You didn't look them in the eye and say, I'm really sorry that this happened. You didn't. You left. Whether you left town or whether you stayed in that condo, you didn't face them after this happened. What kind of character is that? Why is that good character? And all of the crap that we're hearing, all the bad things that we probably don't even need to hear, is just for us to justify Eric's behavior. And I don't justify it. Eric, it's not. It's not. What you should do is give all of the money, because they need it more than you do. Give all of the money. Let them get a lawyer. Let them get a nice little trailer on their property, because they could do that with all of the money that you're getting. You said that you worked real hard. Guys, I want to show you where they put the garbage after they supposedly cleaned the porch. So check this out. See, guys, we only know what people show us, but we have to use critical thinking. We have to use critical thinking. And by the way, I heard Eric say that Patrick reached out to him for help. So this back and forth about who, unless I'm going by what Eric said. So if he's lying, blame him. You know, blame him. Because a few of you have said Patrick reached out to Eric, and a few of you have said Eric reached out to Patrick. It seems like Patrick reached out to Eric, not the other way around. You know? So, I don't know, guys. Listen, there's a bunch of crap here, and I'm arguing with another content creator who I don't even want to argue with the guy. You go look at the guy's channel. He's had a channel for a little bit of time, but the only videos he's put out is the Whittaker videos. Just when it's happened now. And he's saying, I'm just jumping on board. Well, guys, I have another channel, Issues with Toddy One Skip. Go check out my Whittaker playlist there. Over a year and a half old, I started covering the Whittakers. Just because you say something doesn't make it true. And you know what's worse? There's people that just believe people. And now I understand. I understood before, but it's just ridiculous. And I don't have the patience for it anymore. You know, I just don't. But it's not about me, and it's not about him. It's not about Eric, and it's not about Patrick. And I'm on neither one of their sides. I just think it's deplorable that Eric couldn't even walk up to the family and say, I'm sorry, how can I help you? Can I get your room for the night? Nothing. And they deserved at least that. Don't you think that they deserved at least that? Guys, I wanted to read you some things. Let me read these to you. Okay, so this is from Eric. Around a month ago, BJ called me and said that Patrick had burned a chair of hers without asking her permission. Betty and Larry told me the same thing. Patrick and I talked about it on the phone, and I told him he should not have burned anything without permission. Go to Marketplace and get a chair of similar condition to replace it with. Now, guys, there was something that I saw, I'm going to have to look for it, that talks about this between the two guys, and it says, but BJ won't be there long, so don't worry about it. It says get something used, but don't worry about it because BJ won't be there long. So they always had intentions of getting BJ out of there. Even though it was a piece of junk, it was their junk, and that he can't destroy stuff that was not his property. In the meantime, look at what they did to the Whittaker's property. It's not there anymore, is it? Or it's closed down, nobody could use it. And he turns around and says, not good living conditions. But it wasn't okay for him to throw a chair away. And that's not okay. It's not okay to take something and throw something away. But do you think it makes it better when you say somebody's family is shitty? Or somebody's home is shitty? Because he said both. He said that the family shouldn't be letting the family sit in feces and all that stuff. You know, is it true? Is it true? Was Lorraine and Timmy, was all of them sitting in feces? Ray all the time? Betty didn't do nothing? I kept seeing Ray going to the bathroom, and I saw videos of Ray being taken into the bathroom by Larry or Kenny in stores. So, But the thing is, how can he dare say something to Patrick about not messing with their stuff because it's their junk, and him turn around and say shit about the home and make fun of the home? And guys, I've heard from many of you, there's a lot of people that live like that in the hollers. You know, a lot of people that live like that. And the state knew of the Whittakers, by the way, but they didn't bother with them until they were annoyed. Until Eric made that happen. Congratulations, Eric. And Patrick, I don't mind blaming both of them. I don't. Anyway, let's continue on. I don't even know how BJ got my number. That would belong to Larry or Betty. I'm not sure what that's supposed to prove. But because BJ called me, I'm somehow involved with BJ. Okay. At this point, I knew nothing about the abuse. The only thing I knew was that BJ was a drug addict and had defrauded Mark in the past. We all knew that, by the way. This was long before any of the knowledge of anything else happened. I'm not sure there was any real abuse. I promised you guys I'm ready for anything Patrick brings up. Grab your popcorn. I'll give you the truth later today. Keep grasping for straws, Patrick. Bottom line, there was a family that was watched worldwide for all the wrong reasons. That's not true. And I hate that you said that. That's not true at all. I watch people from all different cultures and everything. I'm very much into sociology. So that has to do with the way everybody lives. And a lot of people found it fascinating the way they lived, and not necessarily in a nasty, bad way. There was opportunity. There was money to be made, and someone who desperately needed money and desperately wanted attention was able to come in and get it. And they had us all fooled, guys. I promise you, if I knew then what I know now, I would have never gotten involved. I bet you, because you don't look good, Eric. You don't look good. And I think that this might just wipe you out. It should. Because as far as I know, you've made no videos saying I sent them the money. I faced them. I am doing everything in my power for them. Nope. By the time I figured it out, I was already knee deep. Looking back at this, I would love to say it would have been best if the Whittakers had just been left alone, but I can't say that. I found out in the process of the abuse. This is bullshit. How many times was Mark there? And then now he's talking about ex-offenders and like he's a hero. I don't even want to read this, to be honest with you, because I don't see him as a hero. But he does say this. The next time people start building up internet fame behind someone, you need to make sure you know who that person is. That's right, Eric, and what their intentions are. That's right, Eric. That's right, Patrick. But I'm talking to you, Eric, because you're talking about this as if it's not you. And it's you, Eric. It's you. Your actions tell us it's you. A family that you claimed to love and care for. You left them homeless and broken up, and you didn't even face any of them. None of them. And somehow you didn't feel the need to do that. And again, he still has their money, right? Because we haven't heard anything about him giving the money. And he could have went to a bank, and he could have dropped the money in a bank account. I am sure that Larry would have met him at the bank, or Betty would have met him at the bank. He left them broke, he left them homeless, and he left them broken. And as far as I know, he didn't face anybody. He didn't say, oh, I went and I spoke to them. Or no. Nope. Mm-mm. That tells you who you are. And then he just says the bullshit of, God had me here to blow the whistle. You could say that? No. You just blew the whistle. That's what you did. You just blew the whistle because you wanted things your way, Eric. Well, I hope you're happy. Guys, this is Everybody Has a Story to Tell with Toddy One Skip. I'm so glad this isn't my story. And yours. Guys, if you believe in the power of prayer, please pray for the Whittakers. If not, send good vibes. Please. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Bing, boing, bing. Everybody has a story to tell with Toddy One Skip.